Hey, we are live. It is Saturday. Saturday, right? Yeah, Saturday. It is September 23rd, 2017 at 8:41 p.m. Welcome, everybody. The Joe Wentz Project podcast live tonight. And we have some special guests, man. My co-host, Jim Guidry, is here. Jim, how are you, man?
Doing great, Joe. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Hey.
We also have Stefan, Center O, and Adam EVH, man. How you guys doing?
Great,
Good,
man. How you doing,
guys?
Joe, Jim, Center?
Doing good, man. Doing
Doing
good.
great.
Doing
Good
good.
stuff.
It's so great to have y'all in here. Thank y'all for being here.
Yeah, thanks for
Thank
having
you.
us, Joe.
Yeah,
And Jim, thank
definitely.
you very
Thank
much,
you.
guys.
See, man, it pays to have that inside connection at Arby's. No, I'm just kidding. So,
The gift card's
What?
in the mail. What?
yeah. Yeah. Give that guy a gift card. Yeah, man. Awesome, man. Thank y'all for being here. And so let's just go around the table here for a little bit, man. Jim, what's going on in your neck of the woods, man? How things going over there?
No, man, everything's going great. Playing a little guitar.
Awesome.
And,
Awesome.
Probably play a little bit later. And everything's going good.
Good. All right, Mr. Center, how about you, sir?
Busy day at errands, the usual Saturday stuff with my lady. And I tried to play guitar and bass this evening and it didn't go so well, so here I am.
This was your backup plan. Okay.
No, that was my escape.
Oh, okay.
I got
Okay,
time.
cool. Okay, cool. And Mr. Adam EVH, man, all the way from Canada. How are you, sir?
Yes, sir. I'm doing good, Joe. How about yourself, buddy?
Doing good, man. Doing
Awesome.
good. Everything going okay your way today,
Yeah.
man? Did you get a chance to play any guitar or anything?
I did for a little bit. Yeah, I spent most of the day with the family. We went out for a picnic
Awesome.
and hung out outside and enjoyed the weather.
That's
And
nice. That's beautiful.
I cooked a little dinner, played some guitar.
Damn,
Yeah,
there you go.
That's a good day in my books. That's a
It
good day
is,
in my
man.
books, so
Anytime
can't
you
complain.
get to hang with the family and get to play, man, it's awesome all the way around.
Yeah, it's a win-win. That's for sure.
Awesome, man. Awesome deal. And okay, so we understand that Center and Adam are pretty much getting close to starting their own podcast. So we want to have them on here and let them talk about maybe what they like to do, or just to
Sure.
give them a little springboard here, man, and talk about what they like to do on their podcast. And we're very excited for them. So you guys take it away.
Sure. You want to go, Center, or you want me to?
Oh, go ahead.
Well, basically what Center and I have been talking about for quite some time, and since we both have a real passion and love for heavy metal, heavier music, heavy genres, and we're all just like you guys, we're all roughly the same age, so we grew up roughly with the same types of music, and just seems to be that Center had everything that he's listened to is the stuff that I'm really into, right down to the guitars, to the equipment, to the you name it, the gear. And I was just lucked out that I actually found a guy that had the exact same interests musically as I do. And we thought, you know what? We've kicked the idea around for a little while. And now that's it. Finally, Center said, yeah, let's do it. I finally must have bugged him enough that he finally said, you know what, I'm just gonna do it now.
Well, yeah.
But
every day was like a podcast on the phone with you. So I'm like, we might as well do a podcast because
Yeah, true enough.
For 2 hours.
Yeah, true enough. Yeah, we spend a lot of time talking music, so we figured we might as well just get out there and do a podcast, especially after watching you guys. So
That's fantastic.
yeah, you inspired us. You guys have inspired us. Yeah,
Thank you,
great.
man. That's awesome. Thank you so
Absolutely.
much. Big Dan, if you heard that, go ahead and get the checks ready. So just real quick, because I don't want to ignore our friends here. We got the Vigilant. Hey, Vigilant.
Hey, everybody in the
Mr.
chat.
Big Dan Hall is there. Sin of 72. Miss Ann.
Who's that?
Oh, wow.
How are y'all? Thank y'all for taking the time to join in. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. So yeah, we're looking forward to y'all's podcast, man. That's really cool. So do y'all have any kind of time frame when you want to get started?
We're thinking end of October.
End of October. Okay.
Yeah, maybe around Halloween, but it might be sooner. It just depends.
Okay. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Very cool.
See Black DH came in the chat.
All right.
Blackie DH.
Hey, Blackie. Hello, Ann. Hello, Dan. Hello, everybody.
Yes. Yeah, man.
Yeah, hey, everybody.
Hi to everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, since we're doing plugs, I do have a Facebook up. That Metal
Sure,
Stage.
please do.
Facebook.com. That Metal
Awesome.
Stage.
That Metal Stage.
So I will be updating that with upcoming podcasts, like topics.
That is fantastic.
And then people can leave questions, and so I can get them for the show if somebody's got some questions.
That's awesome.
That's great. Yeah.
Awesome idea, man. That's fantastic. The joys and the wonders of modern technology.
Yeah,
Amen.
Your favorite.
Pretty
You know
cool.
what I'm saying?
Pretty cool.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Adam, I'd like to ask you a question, man, if you
Sure,
don't
Joe.
mind.
No, I don't.
When did you get your first guitar, and how long have you been playing?
Awesome. My first guitar, I would say I got my first guitar in 1986. And I know exactly how and why I got it. Is that the year? That's the year 5150 came out, correct?
You are correct, sir.
Okay, that's how I actually got into guitar. I actually, when I was younger, I actually had a neighbor 2 doors down, and every Sunday at noon, he was a teenager at the time. I was just a little guy, and him and his buddy would just rip. Had a drummer buddy, and these guys would just go to town, and you'd wake up, as a kid, you'd wake up 11, 12 and listen, and man, these guys were playing Van Halen in their backyard. And I was like, wow, what is that? That's basically what started me into Van Halen too and stuff. Just listening to these guys jam. And it wasn't even probably a week or two after that I got my mom to buy me a guitar, and it was all downhill from there, man. I just got hooked. I just listened to these guys rip, and I was like, man, I want to play. And I got my first guitar. It was a copy. It was like a Les Paul copy guitar. I think she paid $50 for it, but man, it was good enough for me at that time, and been playing ever since.
Awesome.
That's great.
Awesome, man.
Yeah. It's been fun. I mean, I don't have half the guitar you guys got. I only got one guitar, so I mean, I'd love to have a lot more guitars, but yeah, it started me.
When you got the one that you want.
Yeah, no, it does it does everything I need, but no, I love guitar just as much as you guys do, so I think we all share the same passion. Who doesn't?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes. Heck yeah,
that's
man.
when I started. So
that's cool, man. That's the same time I started, 1986. Yeah. And it was the initial reason was I saw a band performing at a campground we were staying at. Me and a friend of mine and my parents saw this guy warming up, playing, warming up. He had this Fender Strat, and he was warming up, and I was just blown away by all that. And then so that was in the summer of '86, and then of course in that time frame is when Live Without a Net came out, and and so that Christmas Eve of '86 when I got my first guitar. So yeah, cool. Man, it was man, yeah, and it's pretty bad when I've actually had $100 to put on layaway on that guitar because I won that money from a radio contest. Because I was only in 10th grade, man. I wasn't, $100 was like,
well, it's
$500 a day,
yeah.
And so, yeah, man. And
and so what did you win that? What did you win that contest for?
I won it from. I won the contest. It was some kind of little cheesy call-in talent show they had on the local radio station, and you call in and you display some kind of talent. And I did some sound effects over the phone, and I won $100.
That's cool.
And so I took that $100 and went to the music store and put the money down on the stuff. And my mom took me up there, and I was showing her what I was wanting to put the money on the layaway, what items it was. It was just a guitar and a Gorilla amp is all it was.
Oh, and I had a Gorilla amp.
Yeah, man, me too. Yeah, the first amp. And so that was let's see, what was that? That was about September or October, because I can't remember if you had 2 months or 3 months to pay the layaway off. And the way they did it, which I'm sure it was like that everywhere, if you didn't pay it off, you lost everything. You lost the
deposit.
You lost the deposit and the merchandise. Yeah. I mean, you just lost it all. So, and I had the receipt with me, and it said, it must be paid by this certain day, and all this stuff this week, this whatever. And I said, hey, Mom, can y'all just, get me that for my Christmas present? She said, we'll see. And then we got real close to Christmas, and she was like, we wasn't able to get that. And I was like, what? So I just lost $100 and lost, sure enough, when it got close to Christmas, I snuck out of the house, man. And I looked everywhere in that house, man. Couldn't find it nowhere. I said, man, where is that thing? And I was on the phone with my same buddy. He got the same guitar that I did that same year, except it was a different color. And I was on the phone with him. He lived right down the street in the neighborhood we grew up in. And he said, have you checked the trunk of the car yet? And I said, man, you know what? I sure haven't. So when my parents went to sleep, I went and got the keys and popped the trunk.
You're ruined.
And there it was, man. The box, and man, I was like, yeah, So I never told them that, but
That's
so I knew I had it then. I was like, thank God,
Oh,
I'd be nervous there.
killer.
So that's when I got my first guitar. So it's something else, man. It's been a journey ever since, but it's been fun though. That's the whole thing,
Just one more.
Just one more. Yeah, that's right. How many more guitars do you need? Just one more.
Yeah, I think Sinner's a spokesperson for that. Just one more quote.
Yeah.
Just one more. Yeah. Just one more. How about 40 or 50? And all good ones, all good guitars too. Yeah. Just one more.
It's kind of like the EP. It's kind of like the EP Boost.
Oh yeah, you guys are like, yeah. You guys are all loving that pedal, eh?
I did.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Great.
I love mine. Yeah.
Great review, Joe. By the way, we watched your review. Yeah, it was good job, buddy.
Thank you, man. Thanks, man. It wasn't nothing.
Cool.
It wasn't nothing like what the big guys do, but it was just my own little way,
What are you talking about? Who cares? It was excellent. I enjoyed it. So.
Well, I know if you don't do a proper job, then either you get some slack from either Arby's or somebody that's pretty pissed off.
You can't lose that sponsorship, Joe. What are you gonna eat?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Oh, wait, man.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that's all good, man. Oh, Lord of mercy. But
you're handling their complaints now, aren't you?
I'm afraid I am. Yeah, I know, man.
Well, I got a few from today. 2 napkins for 3 meals? Really?
Hey, I know exactly how that feels. Oh, God almighty. I know, man. How do you? That's why I would say that, man. On there, you get your bag of food, and you go to pull off, and you look in there, and there's no napkins, and I'm like, why did they not put it? Whatever. Anyway, it's just crazy. It's just crazy.
Yeah, I got the bag. She handed me the bag. Krista, she was driving. Put it in my lap, and I'm like holding it. She goes, "Why are you open?" I said, "Because I know there's not gonna be enough napkins." Because Joe says so. Sure enough, 2 napkins.
Oh my gosh!
What a bunch of sticklers, eh? Sticklers.
Yeah. Oh.
For what you pay for a meal these days, $10-$12. You think I'm one of those guys that when I go get fast food, when they're not looking, I just put my whole hand inside that dispenser. I probably take about 3 inches of napkins with me.
Yeah.
Stuff them in the car, and you always got them, right?
That. Adam, you gotta get out of the car for that. No. I'm driving through. That's too much.
You can't do that. You can't do that when you're driving. Yeah, when you're driving through, you can't. But
yeah, everything's your choices, your options are limited, aren't they? Wow,
yeah, pretty much.
Man, golly.
So,
is there any new
ahead,
thing?
Joe.
Is there any new thing that anybody's working on? Any new song ideas or anything you're practicing on to any kind of certain song or anything like that? Any kind of band?
I've been working on an original that, it's ended up sounding like Black Sabbath, so I don't know. I'm going to have to work on it some more.
Cool.
I sent Jim and Adam some clips.
Yeah, the Sinner's got that Sabbath sound. He's got that Sabbath sound nailed to a T there.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
That sounds
That's
great.
cool. Now, what are you running through, Sinner? Are you still running through your? Well, I'll let you go ahead and say it. What are you? What's your rig like?
For that, I'm using my orange,
Mm-hmm.
the Jim Root with a 212 cab.
Oh, cool.
And run that through my Kirk Hammett wah into the EP boost and a carbon copy.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay. Nice.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it does.
That's awesome.
And, all you guys are running that EP right at the last pedal hitting the front of the amp, correct?
That's correct. Yes.
Yeah.
The carbon copy's in the loop. So.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. You know what's Stinner though? You should actually try that. You should try that in the front too. Believe it or not, that those analog dirty delays sometimes they sound really good right before that EP. But something to try. Yeah,
I like the tone. I'm happy with it. I'm not gonna mess with it.
Yeah. No, I just I messed around and I put it in the front and in the loop, and I just found it was better up front. But everybody's different. There's no right or wrong, you know. Just
Right.
to just say, I actually got that from Pete Thorne's video. He actually said, you know, if you got an analog delay, sometimes it's best to run them right to the front. And I had it in the loop actually before I listened to the video, and I put it in front. And I was like, wow.
Well, now I'm gonna have to try. Now I'll have to try it now.
Yeah. No. Oh yeah, for sure.
Dang it.
Yeah.
Wow. What about you, Mr. Jimbo? What's your rig like?
Well, you know, I got that the same old basic setup. You know, I'm running those Line 6 effects. You know, I'm running to a clean power amp through my cabinets, and I haven't really, you know, I messed around with the EP boost on that, but really, I've got to do some really dialing backs, you know, on the amp side, and I just hate to mess with my live sound right now. But I played with it through my little cube, and you know, it sounded great. But I just ran it. I ran it in front. You know, I just ran my guitar into the cube, and it sounded really great.
Yeah, that's what I did over here. Yeah.
But I'm still experimenting.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Until I can get this 5150 fully functional, I know I need a couple of power tubes to get that issue fixed with the volume going up and down.
Did you ever find out exactly what if you had to replace all of them or just the power?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Okay.
I'm just, as far as I know right now, all I know is I need a couple of power tubes.
Yeah, somebody is supposed to look into that for you. I'm wondering.
No, it's okay.
Monday. I would do it Monday.
Oh, it's all good. All right.
I'll write it down.
Mr. Adam, tell us about your rig, man. Please.
Yeah, sure. I'm running just a 50-watt EVH head with a 2x12 cab, and my pedals are I got the EVH wah into the EVH flange into the EVH phaser, going into let's see here, an Ecoplex delay into the EP3 booster into the front of the amp. That's my setup, and then in the loop I'm running an Eventide, and I run a Line 6 M5, but I just use it just for the EQs, and a DD3 delay, and a final little boost pedal hit in the back, and that's it.
Wow.
Daggone, man.
Well, I tell you what.
That's awesome. How long have you had all this gear? Is it something you had for quite a while, or is it something
I've acquired it over I would say I've probably had it for 2-3 years, but you know how it is. You're always, you know, you buy something, you might not be happy with it, it's gone. But finally, this pedal board that I have set up now, I've been using steady for a year. Nothing's left the board, or, you know, I haven't bought anything else. So I'm kind of happy with just the way it is. For now once.
Yeah, I know. It's chasing that tone, man.
Yeah.
Now that sound that you have, Jim has told me it's very reminiscent of the Carnal Knowledge tone from Unlawful Carnal Knowledge album. Very cool.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Thanks, Jim. Yeah. Thanks,
That's
buddy.
very cool. Yeah, he told me this sounded just like that. Yeah.
I run also, you know, I also have the Music Man Axis guitar, so it gets pretty close. You know what I mean? It gets close enough. I think with the detuned chorus of the Eventide, and with the Ecoplex and the EP booster, that's basically what Eddie was running in front of his amp, except he was using the old unit, right? The one in like the all-in-one tape unit. So it gets you there. You know, it gets you there. But let's face it.
I think you're there. You're there looking back. You're looking back at me.
You're too kind.
I'm still chasing. I'm still chasing.
But yeah, that's my setup. It's good enough. I'm happy with just the way it is, I guess. So I don't really touch any buttons. Once it's set, and that's it. And I just play, sort of, you know.
Right.
So I'm pretty happy. It's like all your rigs. You guys all got killer rigs. Everybody's got kick-ass rigs, you know. It's just.
Oh wow, yeah. It's fun to have little like, I don't know. I mean, for me, I like to have a little variety. You know, I got
Mm-hmm.
the 5150 half stack. I got the line 6 with the two 10-inch Celestians, and I got the little small cube, and then I got the RP 1000 effects unit on the floor, so I can kind of go just pedals, or I can go effects unit, or sometimes a little combination of both if you can just line them up just right.
Yeah.
And it's just fun to have that little
Sure. Just to
little
change it up.
variety.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. You want a different flavor. You just
Yeah.
change it up. Yeah. It's nice. I mean, you're not
Yeah.
just changing a preset. You're changing the whole amp, and you're changing, everything, which is nice guitar. You get to
Right.
switch it all up. Yeah, that's good, man.
Yeah.
See, by the way,
Another reason for more guitars.
Yeah.
yeah.
And you know what? I think Adam made a good point, Joe, about like the guitars you have. You're like the blue collar guitar. You've got all one of kind of each. Just so many different kinds, man. That's what's cool about it.
Yeah, all different kinds of guitars.
Yeah.
And you play all different genres of music too, which I
Yeah.
can't play anything other than your hair band, metal, Van Halen type stuff. I wouldn't dare try to play Elvis or the stuff that you play because I can't play it.
Oh.
You got all the classics just nailed.
Well, nah, it's just attempts, man. I don't think I have
No, it's
them
not
nailed,
an
but
attempt. You're a good player, man. You're too humble. You're a great player. So
I appreciate it, man, but I really do. That's very kind of you. I like to try I like to try different songs,
Sure. Yeah.
Sometimes it might be something from the 60s, like I did if you go back on this channel a little bit, I did a Wilson Pickett's cover of Hey Jude. That was in that time period, that was a big hit for Wilson Pickett, even though it was a Beatles song.
Yep.
And Wilson Pickett covered it. But what I like about it is that Dwayne Allman played guitar on that record, on that song, and that was what really kind of helped launch Dwayne Allman a little bit, even though he was already doing a lot of session work at Muscle Shoals and Fame Studio. But when it was Dwayne Allman's idea, when he told the guy behind the glass, we need to cover Hey Jude, and the guy looked at Dwayne and told him he was crazy, because right at that point, Hey Jude was on the charts.
Yeah.
And they said, why do we need to do that? And he goes, we need to do it. And so Dwayne talked Wilson Pickett into doing the song, and they did it, and it was a huge hit. So, and that was always well known later, for that time frame. That guitar that's jamming at the end, that's Dwayne Allman, man, jamming out on a Fender Strat.
Wow. I didn't know that.
That's Dwayne Allman playing that. Yeah, it could be his Les Paul. I don't know, but I want to say it was his Fender Strat. I could be wrong, but it was just you get a little bit of something different like that, man, and it's just, to me, it's refreshing.
Sure.
Because you just never know, man. I mean, you look at if you go to you want to be in a band, I guess that's where it's coming from. You gotta it's good to play a little different variety like that, because the people when you're playing, they're going to be pretty much in your age bracket, pretty much roundabouts. So people are going. You want to play stuff that people are familiar with, and so it's pretty cool, man. I just like to change stuff up a little bit, and just to see if I can do it. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to sit there and try, For the Love of God by Steve Vai, or something by Yngwie or Paul Gilbert, because I know that stuff is way out of my league. I can't touch that stuff.
And me neither.
I'm just a blue collar classic rock player, man. That's me.
Hey Joe, I see Charlie S. just hopped in the chat along with Gene.
Oh, thank you, Jim. Thank you. Yeah, Charlie S. Man, how are you, sir? There's Mr. Gene. He says, I agree, Joe. You're too humble, but that's not a bad thing. Thank you, Mr. Gene. I think that's Gene Simmons. Man, I think we'll get a free vault. I'm kidding, Gene. I'm kidding. I know that's not Gene Simmons. I'm just kidding. What is y'all's opinion about that vault that's going on right now that's making all that news? Be honest. What's your opinion about this with the vault thing going on that Gene Simmons is putting out there? How do y'all feel?
Well, I'm going to be totally honest. I don't know anything about it.
me neither. Actually, I heard about it, but I don't know.
But
if you don't mind,
just
fill us in. So is he basically releasing some Van Halen stuff? Is this what it is?
Now that I don't know. I don't know
Okay.
what's in the vault. I don't know, but I've from what I'm understanding, there's you pay this huge amount. If you pay this huge amount of money, Gene Simmons will personally deliver the vault, I think, to your residence and sit with you for a certain amount of time. I think, if you want that experience, or maybe you can just buy the vault with whatever. I don't know what else in there.
The vault is like $2,000 just to buy the kit or the box set.
Oh, see, there you go. Okay, see, there you go.
It has stuff that he did with Bob Dylan, I think, is on there.
Okay.
Eddie and Alex helped them in the studio. I think it was the Love Gun album, maybe, or something.
Really?
I can't remember what songs. They played basically played a couple of Kiss songs in the studio. That's what the Van Halen part of it is.
Well, he couldn't cash in on the metal horn symbol, so I guess he's on to something else.
Isn't that something? Wow. Isn't that something?
Only $50,000, and he will come to your house for, I think it's like 3 hours, and you can have 20 people.
Good gracious alive. Man.
That's a lot of money.
Gene Simmons, boy. Man, I mean, don't get me wrong. He is a brilliant businessman. But sometimes some of that stuff, man, I think is a little far-fetched, in my opinion.
You can have me come to your house for a large pizza and a six-pack.
There you go. There you go.
For $50,000, I could fly everybody here, and we can all drink beer and have a barbecue. And fly you home the same day too, even if you want. For that kind of money.
Gene, I hear you, man, in the chat. I hear you, Gene. I was just playing with you, brother. He says, no, there's not Gene Simmons, and I bear no resemblance except for maybe the tongue. Hey, man, that's awesome.
Keep that tongue to yourself, sir.
Yeah, that's awesome. Charlie S., yes, he says, Joe, check out Ace and Gene playing together the other night on the same stage. Video is on YouTube. Yeah, have y'all seen that? I couldn't believe it.
I haven't seen it.
I could not believe that Ace and Gene Simmons are on the same stage, man. That's been a long time. I couldn't believe that. I couldn't believe it. Wow.
Well, there's going to be a Kiss tour.
Do you really think so?
Yeah. They can't resist money. I mean, he's selling box set for $2,000.
Yeah. Yeah, you can see what he's doing. He's just building up his name again and getting out there again so they can pop the tour probably. Yeah.
Right, because there was always these rumors, like Paul wrote with Ace on some
solo
word.
That's right,
And now Gene's playing with him on stage. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When they kind of said back in the day that they wouldn't play with Ace again and all this stuff. You know how the trash talking and stuff goes,
Right. Money talks.
Man, yeah. Heck yeah, money talks. Blackie D8 says, that's cool. I got to check that out, that video. He also says, just saw Kiss last year. Took my kids. They loved it. Wow. That's cool.
Yeah.
So if they're going to reunite, now this is just speculation, of course. Do you think if they get Ace in the picture, do you think they'll bring Peter Criss back? I mean, man.
Whoa. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I know. I don't either.
I think
he's in rough shape, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he's retired, but I can see him opening the tour, maybe like a couple of shows here and there, like New York or California. I can't see him doing a full tour, you know what I'm saying?
Right. I didn't know he was in bad shape. I haven't kept up with it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's kind of like how Guns N' Roses did with their, Steven Adler. Until they fly him in for like one or two songs.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That kind of thing.
I didn't know that either. Wow. That's very interesting. Man. So that would be wild to see if they do that one more time.
They will.
The original members do that one more time before they officially retire because, I mean, how old no offense. Age is just a number. I mean, I'm not saying nothing.
Oh, they're old.
Smart aleck or nothing, but I know they're kind of getting up there. So they can't keep. Yeah, aren't they knocking on the door at 70? Or,
they got to be
mid to late 60s
70,
or something like that?
I would say so, yeah. Mid to late 60s for sure, yeah. But I can guarantee you they'll charge an arm and a leg for those tickets.
Oh,
they're doing one more final cash in, They're just I can see tickets starting probably at $300, for something like this, but hey, there's diehard Kiss fans. I'll pay it.
Yeah.
That's fine. And that's fine. Good for them that they get to see Ace Frehley back with the original guys. That's great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Paul is 65.
Okay.
Gene's 68. Peter Criss is 71.
There we go.
Oh wow.
I'm surprised Charlie even had to look that up.
Yeah,
he's a man of facts. He knows his stuff.
Yes.
Hey Joe, Charlie S says that Peter Criss had cancer, but beat it years ago.
Yeah, that's right.
Ain't that something?
That's correct. Yes, I remember. I just remembered.
He still can play. It's just I don't think he wants to do a tour. You know?
Right. Yeah, it's probably not enough his health or stamina and stuff. Mr. Randall Fisher says money talks. That's right. Money does talk, my friend. Yeah. Absolutely. And
you know what's amazing? Not to change gears here, but like Mick Mars, with the health issues he has, it's amazing that he plays like he does.
Oh yeah. He had some kind of
degenerative
spinal deficiency, something going on with his spine where it over time his spine just curves or something.
No, it fuses. He has, I can't pronounce it.
Spondylolisthesis.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, so basically, your bones just become brittle and they blend together.
Yeah. Oh my gosh!
Isn't that something that's
why he's hunched over?
Yeah, it does. It does create that S curve in your spine.
Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness!
Yeah,
I heard it's really, really painful.
Yeah.
What was you gonna say, Jimbo? There was a guy that what now?
No, I was just talking about that. Mick Mars one, yeah.
Yeah, getting back to Mick Mars, you're right, Jim. Mick Mars can still rip.
Oh man, I've always loved it. I've always loved Mick Mars, man. His tone was just a monster, man.
Big time.
He's in the studio right now, actually.
Yeah.
Is he really?
Yes, sir.
Is he doing a solo thing, or is he working on somebody else's, or what's he doing? Do you know?
John Corabi is helping him songwrite.
Okay.
So that's the last I've heard of it, anyway.
I seen this interview with him one time where he said that he's always chased tone instead of the blinding solos and all that stuff, which you can do all that, but he's always been more about
he's a blues guy by heart,
Yeah.
By heart.
Yeah. Wow. I've always loved his tone, man. Always.
Me too.
Yeah.
Big heavy.
I always thought he was a great player. Also, what we talked about before, gentlemen, earlier in the week, that we was wanting to bring this up on the podcast as well. Speaking of that era, Motley Crue, Guns N' Roses, even Kiss, other bands. I'm sure everybody is familiar when MTV made its big appearance, and I want to say that was 1980 is when MTV.
It was 80 or 81, I think.
I think it's 81.
Is it 81? Because I remember Eddie and Valerie got married in. What that was that 81? I believe. Maybe I'm getting them both mixed up here. But I could have swore it was 1980. But if anybody can Google that, say when did MTV premiere?
I'll find it.
Okay, we got Mr. Center checking that out right now.
1981.
I was a senior in high.
81. Thank you, Big Dan. Yes, thank you, Center. 81. Wow. Okay, man. So, the way MTV was back then for me. And I know I shared this with y'all, but I'm going to share it one more time for the listening audience. And when I would get home from school, for years, man, because MTV was the same thing for years, just nothing but videos. And then late at night, as MTV progressed, they had that Headbangers Ball and all that cool stuff,
Yeah.
And then I would come home from school and I would just click on MTV, boom, and just listen to music, watch videos, and do my homework. And just, it was so cool, man. I never thought that would change, but it did.
Oh, has
it? Things change. Things change, man.
Oh, has it?
Like reality TV now.
Oh
man, it's changed with the times, but
man, you can just sit there and watch it. And see so many good videos come along back then.
Oh man, yeah, it was just all those, because MTV was such a catalyst for those bands back then, and it just put them.
The VJs
over the moon. Yeah, the VJs that was one thing that was always linked to them. Oh man, that was so cool.
That Nina Blackwood. Who was that?
Yeah, Nina Blackwood. Yeah. Alan Hunter. What was that? Martha Quinn.
Yeah.
Who else are we missing? Let's see. What was that other guy's name?
Mark Goodman.
Mark Goodman.
Yes, Mark Goodman.
And there's one more.
JJ, wasn't it?
JJ Jackson.
JJ Jackson. Thank you. Randy Jackson. Oh no, that's his brother. Yeah, J.J. Jackson. And if anybody has ever watched Van Halen the early years, I actually have that DVD, and I ordered it from the Van Halen store a long time ago. But it's called Van Halen the Early Years, and you can see it on YouTube. It's all over YouTube. But if you watch that, and the person narrating that story is J.J. Jackson, that's him. That's his voice. Of course, he's passed away now, but that was him, J.J. Jackson. Yeah, I always thought he was cool too.
I still listen to Mark Goodman on Sirius Radio.
Yeah, he's got his own channel. Yeah,
Yeah,
sure
Isn't
does,
that
man.
amazing?
Yeah,
Had
it's
a long
cool that he
career.
can still have that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool that he can still have a career from back then. I mean, that's awesome, man. Because I used to have Sirius XM, and like I said before, I just gave it up. I was like, man, I ain't gonna keep paying for this. So I went ahead and canceled it. But I do remember Mark Goodman having his own channel and being on there. I thought that was really cool. You know.
Yeah,
I remember.
Eddie
go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say. I just remember getting my friends, brothers and sisters to actually tape this stuff, record MTV. At nighttime, Headbangers Ball and all that.
Yeah.
I bet you I still got boxes of VHS tapes just from because back then we never had internet, right? So if you wanted to find out about a band or any kind of stuff like that, you'd watch the show. We didn't have nothing but I don't even think Guitar Player was even around, the magazine back then, so really that's all we had, and that's what we grew up on.
Yeah,
watching MTV.
Yeah. Hit Parader magazine and Cream.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I bought that for the posters. Just buy it. I used to buy the magazine just for the posters.
They had some cool posters you could unfold and put on your wall, man.
Yep.
And I still got a whole bunch of Guitar Player, Guitar World, some of those magazines from the 80s. I still have them put away.
I wish I would have kept mine, but I didn't. I wish I would have kept mine, but man, I had so many.
Some of them are ripped to shreds from taking out posters and stuff.
Yeah.
But I see Charlie S. made a point about Mick Mars and back in the chat where he said that he always played great solos clear, without just ripping crazy arpeggios. And
right. Yep, I agree. One of my favorite players.
Yeah, he was good at what he did. He kept it simple, and boy, the guy can play rhythm.
He's a monster rhythm player. Gene says he loves Van Halen's "Dancing in the Streets." Diver Down. That's one of my favorite albums by them, believe it or not.
I still got the cassette.
Oh, do you really? Wow.
Yeah.
Man.
I don't ever play it, but I still got it.
Yeah, that's I just love that. I don't love every song on that album, but for the most part, for the songs that I just love the songs.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Joe.
No, I was just gonna say I can do away with Big Bad Bill and a couple other ones, but the rest of them are kick ass. Awesome.
Yeah, I love the back of the album cover or the cassette cover. It shows them on stage with that big, huge crowd.
Do you know who they opened up for on that shot right there?
No.
That was the Rolling Stones. They opened up for the Stones. That's why all those, that's, I mean, not only
so
that,
people, right.
but that was just, that's why it was just, I'm not saying that Van Halen couldn't fill that stadium, but they were opened up for the Stones, man.
I'm not knocking, I'm not knocking the Rolling Stones at all by any means, but can you imagine having to come on and play after that?
Man.
Yeah, it was some big shoes to fill. Man, oh man. They blasted everybody off the stage.
I mean,
they did.
Just an observation,
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And plus, it's just two completely different kinds of music,
And like I said, I'm not knocking the Rolling Stones at all, by no means.
No.
But like you said, it's just like night and day almost, when.
Oh, wow. Randall Fisher says, I still got my 20 recorded VHS tapes of Headbangers Ball. That is amazing, man. Yep. That is cool, man. How about that? Man. So, Randall, do you still have a VCR? Apparently, I guess maybe so, man. Golly, that's cool.
Somewhere I still have Live Without a Net on VCR, but I'm sure it's probably in bad shape because I wore it out.
Oh, man. The one I had was wore out, yeah. Yeah, I got it on DVD, but I ain't even broke that out in so long because it's on YouTube.
YouTube, yeah.
You can pull it up on YouTube and just look at it in HD, and everything is just different now.
Can you imagine, for all of us in our age group back in the day when we were, learning and playing and practicing, just think we had access to something like YouTube back then. Now, you can look anytime you want to learn something, you just look it up.
Yep. I definitely wouldn't be as crummy as I am today if I had YouTube. I'll tell you that much.
Man.
Yeah. The kids got it good these days with YouTube.
It's amazing, Adam, that you say that because you see that a lot here on YouTube of young kids just blazing.
Oh, I know.
Oh,
the
yeah.
guitar. And I was like,
Yeah, there's
how in the hell? It's just unbelievable, man.
But one thing that creates though is a lack of an ear. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. That's a good point.
You're right. That is a good point.
A point
That
I was
is a
talking
good
with
point.
Joe about the other day. You see some of these people, and I might have even said this to y'all, but you see a lot of people, like you said, young people on here that are just ripping these solos. But when it comes to the rhythm part, they're not that great of their rhythm is kind of, it's like it's like they learn the solo, but they don't work on the rhythm aspect of it.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah,
you hear a lot of players like that.
Yeah, rhythm's the most important part.
That's it.
I agree.
They're absolutely
100%.
Yeah.
Not many people dance to solos. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's right.
No, good point. You're right, Center. It's the beat. It's the beat people are attracted to, right?
Right.
So,
it's like everybody wants to play solos, but nobody wants to play, play rhythm. It's almost like how nobody wants to play rhythm or bass or anything. It seems like they just want to play these solos and stuff. But hey, that's cool too.
Yeah.
I wish I could play some of them. I can't.
Yeah.
Me neither. Man,
amen to that. Man,
yeah.
Amen. Me too.
Charlie S. in the chat, real quick. Charlie S. says, "Hey guys, saw Van Halen open for Sabbath at Madison Square Garden in 1978. Sabbath is still angry about that tour. Van Halen blew them off the stage."
Wow. Oh yeah. Well, that was bad years for Black Sabbath.
It was because they were weren't they about to break up then, Center?
They had broken up and gotten back together for that tour, and they're all drugged out, and it was a big mess.
Yeah. Wow, man. Randall Fisher, he says, yes, his VCR still works. I'm 46 years old. Remember them days? Yes, Mr. Fisher. I'm 47, so I remember those days. And I remember when VHS
first come out,
the tape rewinders, when you could get the tape rewinders, when you go rent a video at the video store, and if
they
you
have the machine,
they have them at the cash register, and they'd look at the tape, and if it wasn't be kind, rewind. If you didn't have it rewound, they'd stick them in there and slap it down, and it would rewind it in 15 seconds or something. I went to the video store way back in the day, man, when I used to live in that other town. And they sold those things, and I bought one because I got so sick of rewinding a tape in the VCR because it took forever, So I bought one of those and plugged it up next to the TV.
Yeah, it also
rewind.
It also took the load off your VCR, right? If you're doing so much rewinding, right? It was just good to have, or else you'd be replacing parts on your VCR before you know it. With all
you're
rewinding.
You're right.
And I don't know if y'all remember when they first came out with it was VHS or beta, whatever,
Beta.
Beta. And if you remember how big they were, they were like huge, gigantic,
huge, Yeah.
And I see where Charlie asked me if we use bass tracks with me and Alex Jam. No, sir, Charlie, we don't.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
I
wish I knew a bass player.
Yeah, me too.
There you go, Senator.
Yeah, I know it.
I might be able to do that.
I'm working on them.
We talked about it already, so
yeah.
In the works.
But thank you, Charlie.
Cool.
No, we don't.
Yeah. Oh man, let me hit these other comments because I like to try to address people in the chat box if I can, as long as that chat box ain't flying. Because I don't want to just skip people because I don't believe in that. Big Dan says, "Good old days." He's 47 himself. Big Dan, I hear you. Blackie DH says, "Be kind, rewind." That's right.
Yeah.
Remember they had the sticker on the video.
Yes,
store.
That's right.
Yeah.
Be kind, rewind, because you would get fined.
You would get charged.
I remember
they charged
you. Charged.
Yeah,
like 50 cents or something. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Gene says, "I'm telling my age, but I had 8-track tapes of the Allman Brothers, Leonard Skinner, Marshall Tucker, and etc." Hey, that's awesome, man. Awesome music.
Gene,
all of it.
I had 8 tracks in my first car, so
me too.
Yeah.
I had Deep Purple, I had Black Sabbath, and I think Alice Cooper. They're like the only ones I had.
Oh, that's wow. That's cool, man. That's cool. Yes, Blackie DH says, "Do you remember the head cleaner for the VCR? You had to put a little drops of liquid on the tape and put it in there and it clean your." I remember that. Oh God, man, I haven't thought about that. Let's see. Randall Fisher says Blockbuster. Now let me ask you guys. Let me ask you fellas. Did you ever think? We talked about how MTV changed, even though MTV is still here. but it is in no way, shape, or form the way it used to be. But
Right.
did you ever think that Blockbuster would disappear?
No.
No.
Man, they were a huge juggernaut in the
Yeah.
videotape
Not
industry.
not
I
until the
know.
internet, until YouTube and everything else started coming, Netflix and all that. No, I miss those days going, I wish I could take my kids, get some popcorn. Remember they always had the little popcorn machine.
I have to give it up to Blockbuster because they made it about the experience. Because when you went there, it was kind of like a movie theater atmosphere,
Absolutely.
and they had all the bright flashing lights, and now
smell like
new
butter.
release for this week. Yeah, and you smell that popcorn. That's
butter.
that's all.
Get
that's
you hungry
all
at the same
there.
time.
That's all there to attract you, man. To give them the business. That's there for a reason.
Well, let me tell you, they had some video rental places that were dives.
Oh God,
they were dark.
Oh God,
and,
yeah.
Dark and
oh man.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to go in there.
No, Mile Road, Detroit.
It's funny here in Shreveport. The other day I seen there was I guess it used to be a video rental store. The sign is still on the big pole, but there's nothing there. But
right.
it said video rental. I thought, wow, how old is that?
Yeah, got to be at least
a
decade or more old.
Yeah,
at least.
American Pickers, they'll be getting that.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Show. I love that show.
Yeah.
That. What do y'all think? If y'all can remember, here's a little piece of trivia, real quick. Who was it that pretty much was the demise of Blockbuster?
Ooh, I don't know. Oh, got me there.
It was the Red Store.
Netflix.
Yeah.
Netflix was the first major one for the big major blow against Blockbuster.
And Napster, because they started doing videos on there too.
Napster, yeah, that's right. That's right.
Well, I was at this Walmart the other day. In front of the Walmart, it actually had a DVD rental box out there, and I don't think people even did that anymore. But
that's called Redbox.
Oh, okay. Well, so that shows you how much I am.
Yeah, you can rent DVDs for. I remember when Redbox. Now that's the thing that's. See, in my opinion, this is just me. I'm no fortune teller or nothing like that. But to me, you know how I get my movies now, fellas? We used to go to Redbox and all that stuff. But see, you got to drive to Walmart, which is 15, 20 minutes from here. And let's say you go to Redbox and you rent a movie. Because I remember when they first come out, they was like 99 cents a rental. Now it's like what, right at $2? So if you get a new release, you get it, and then you have to take it back within 24 hours. So you got to go back up there. There's still that inconvenience of having to drive up there. What if the weather's bad? What if it's pouring down rain, or you're sick, or God forbid something happened and you can't get up there? Well, they got your debit card information. They're going to keep knocking your. They're going to keep charging. Right. I'm serious. I'm not joking. They're going to keep charging your account every day until you turn that movie back in, because that DVD has got a barcode on the middle of the DVD that when it scans it shows that it's returned. Now here's how I get my stuff. Now I get my stuff, just digitally. I get it from Amazon Instant Video. That's how I get all my stuff. That new movie center you got, Hired Gun, I bought it off Amazon. Boom, bought it right then, and I could watch it right on my phone. That's what I did. That's what I did. I said I don't deal with physical, actual copies. That's just me, because to me it's about the convenience. If I can order it right on my phone, or, where it can come up on my TV on the Roku right here, I don't have to go anywhere. That's what's going to be the next step. Redbox is still doing good right now, but in my opinion, this is just me, I think the digital format is giving them a run for their money.
Right.
And now back to the Dow Jones report. Oh, what? Anyway.
And Charlie, that's what Charlie S. says. That this is a Netflix generation. He's got 19-year-old twins, and it's strictly Netflix, which I use Netflix too. And
oh yeah, absolutely. Black of the 8 says he still has VH1 and 2 on 8-track.
Oh wow!
Wow,
man, those be worth some money, maybe.
Yeah,
man,
Charlie,
that's real.
Joe, you should end every one of your videos with "Be kind, rewind." Oh my goodness!
And wasn't it interesting on 8-track? Right when it got to the solo part, it had to change tracks. You listen to it, to the lead part, and then it had to change tracks.
Yeah, it did, didn't it? Right in your favorite part, it'd have to change over. Big Dan Hall says we have a family video still here in Michigan. Wow, how about that? Yeah, Jim, you done read that comment. Redbox. Big Dan also says now digital comes with the Blu-rays. Yes, it does. Yeah. Sure does. Wow, man. But it's just amazing how things have changed so
I
much.
know. Just like with cell phones, from all you could
Oh
do
my
before was
gosh.
just talk.
Talk.
Then you could
Yeah.
text. Then,
Yeah. Yeah.
And
then when camera phones came out, that's what blew my mind. I was like, wait a minute, you can take a picture with a phone? I mean, that was just unheard. I mean, I was like, what?
I got a nice Sony camera, but I hadn't used it in years. I mean, why? When your phone works so good now, and then if
It's
you want to
crazy.
send it, you want to send it to somebody, boom, there it is.
I bought
Absolutely.
my wife a nice camera going back. When the first iPhone came out, basically, I bought her that Christmas. I bought her a nice Nikon camera. I mean, I spent good money on it. She's into photography and stuff, and lo and behold, I get this iPhone and start snapping pictures with it, and it's better than I think it was around the 4S or the iPhone 4 maybe even, but you start snapping photos with a phone, and you're like, wow, I just got ripped.
I see Charlie S makes his comment, and I know exactly what he means. Who misses shoving the matchbook under the 8-track to make it work?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I do remember that. Wow.
Did you guys play back in bands back in like the late 80s, 90s at all?
I did.
Remember.
Joe did, right? Yeah.
Wait, how did you record? I want to see how.
Oh God! Back then, back then we recorded with because none of us at that point in time, none of us had any kind of money.
Right.
So it was we had a boom box with a cassette in it.
There you go. I still have
Me
my
too.
cassette.
Play and that's how you'd record your jams.
Yeah, that's how we did it.
Session.
Yeah.
That's how we did it. And then 4 tracks, the Fostex 4 track.
That too.
too.
That's about it for me.
I had this real cheap.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jim.
No, I had a real cheap. I borrowed somebody Casio keyboard that had this real horrible sounding drum machine built in it. So I would record on cassette player, on the boombox, playing along with it,
Oh yeah.
And thought I was doing something,
But see, back then, like when I first really started trying to record some stuff, and this was years ago. I was in my first marriage. Hadn't been married long, maybe a year and a half. I had me a little Fostex 4-track that I remember buying from the music store. Of course, took the cassettes, and I had a little cheap microphone that I got from Radio Shack that was probably about $25. And then I had like Jim said, I had a little cheap Casio keyboard, and I'd have a buddy of mine come over that would sing, and our equipment was crap. But we didn't know it at that time. We didn't know that we didn't know. All we knew is we were recording something. We were, actually writing some songs. We were putting stuff together, and we was like, man, listen to this. We did this. And it was all about having fun. Just the joy of creating music was what did it for us.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what those guitarists that we're talking about earlier with the YouTube. That's what those guitarists are missing, is that experience with other players and just that fun and that companionship.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
It's like that. It's like that audio clip. I think I sent all y'all. I might have sent. I think I did, but it was recorded on a Fostex 4-track cassette back in like 91, 90, and the quality is horrible, but
But that's the way it was back then.
I kept the memory, So
yeah. Absolutely.
You know what? The more as I get older, I start to realize that I like that dirty, non-perfect sound that you get from those kinds of things. Like I'm starting to get a little tired of the cleaned up, polished, digitized format.
Right.
I don't want hence people going back to records and stuff like this, but you can't beat that organicness of that creation going back. It's just a lot more to it. It's got more substance, if you ask me, compared to what you get today.
It's kind of like on that documentary about what was it? Was it about the studio, Sun Studios or whatever? Were they?
Oh, you talking about
with the Neve board?
That was
David.
Foo Fighters. Dave Grohl made that movie.
But they were talking. Neil Young was talking. They were all talking about how everything went digital. And And even Tom Petty said, he wanted to turn knobs. I mean, basically in the digital setting, they had one knob that did everything. Basically.
Yeah.
And
wasn't that called Sound City?
yes,
Ain't that what it was called?
Thank you. Yes, Sound City.
Yeah.
It's a good documentary.
Yeah. It's an awesome documentary. If nobody's checked it out, and man, when that movie hadn't been out long, it was available in digital format, and I bought it on the internet. And of course now it's on Netflix or a couple other channels as well that's available on the Roku box. There it is, Sound City. Right. I was like, son of a gun, man.
I have not seen that one.
You
have not seen that, Senator? Oh my gosh, dude. Oh my God. You have got to check
that out.
Sound City, man. Look on your Netflix channels or whatever channels you have on your Roku. Like maybe I know it. I want to say it's on Netflix because I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it on there. If you go to Netflix, go to the search box and type in Sound City. Man, oh my gosh, dude.
I've seen it. I've seen it several times, and it's great every time.
Is it a movie or is it like
it's a documentary?
A documentary, okay.
Yeah, it's a documentary. Absolutely,
check that
man.
It's fabulous. It's great.
It's fantastic, man. It talks about it touches about the board that they used back then, like Jim said, the Neve board. And this is before all this digital stuff was coming on, right? So, the Neve board, that original Neve board had all kind of different artists they recorded. I mean, I think they said that I can't remember who the first one was, but I want to say the first people they had in the studio in Sound City, Jim, you correct me if I'm wrong, but was Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks when they were together as a duo, had them in there first. They were like the first people they really recorded that had some kind of substance. They were, had a little bit of notoriety. And then, Mick Fleetwood was in a different studio in that same building, and he heard Lindsey Buckingham's guitar or vice versa, one or the other, and that's how they met. And that's how they became part of Fleetwood Mac.
I love Fleetwood Mac.
They got some great songs.
Lindsey Buckingham, man.
I'm a big fan of Lindsey Buckingham, yeah.
He's an amazing guitar player, man.
Boy, is he ever.
He very underrated. Everything,
Yeah,
he does.
Do you have that video, Jim? I'm just thinking you probably got the dance live, Their live Blu-ray?
Yeah, I've watched it. Well, no, I've watched it on YouTube,
Yeah, I got it. It's a kick-ass video. Yeah.
My DVD collection is YouTube now. So
true. Same here.
Yeah. I just hadn't watched any DVDs.
No, who does anymore?
I know.
Getting back to that whole digital thing that Joe's talking about here. It's sad. Nobody. Everything's digitized. Joe Walsh has a song that's pretty cool. It sums it up. It's called Analog Man. Just listen to that. And
Analog Man. Yeah.
Yeah, he's good. He nailed it. In one song.
Joe Walsh, another fantastic player. Oh my gosh, man! What are you talking about?
Giant guitar player.
Let me address the chat box real quick, fellas. Randall Fisher says, "Boombox." Can I say that? Yes, sir. You can. Blackie D8 said, "Sound City is killer." It is awesome movie, man. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Randall Fisher's in Memphis. Like a river. Gene says, "I've got an 11 on my amplifier." There you go. Charlie S agrees. Sound City is awesome. That's right, Charlie S. Every legit 80s band was recorded on that Neve board in Sound City. He is correct.
Yep.
Big Dan's got to bow out. He says, "Have a great night. Catch the replay. Good in the morning. Good night, everybody."
Dan.
Thank you, Dan.
Later, Dan.
Good night, Dan.
Hope you're doing all right, man. Blackie DH. Dave Grohl is a badass. I'm telling you, that's the guy who's the mega man in the music business right now is Dave Grohl.
He sure is.
Phenomenal drummer.
If you watch that documentary, Center.
Oh yeah.
That's why. I couldn't believe he got those people in there. I was like, man, he got those guys.
Yeah, that deal he did with Paul McCartney was pretty cool.
Exactly. When I saw that, I was like, holy smokes! Now, what does that say?
You know, Paul McCartney was just here in Shreveport just about a month ago, and I think they sold out at CenturyTel Center. Really? I think beginning tickets were $250, $300, something like that.
Wow.
Yeah. We don't get very many concerts through here.
Yeah, we don't either. Not in Greenville. They get their share of it, but it's always something that's off the wall.
Yeah.
Oh God. It's like some freaking. I'm like, no, who cares?
Kind of like me and Senator was talking about new music today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, now here's your platform. Go ahead and say it. Go ahead. Express your opinion, gentlemen.
No, we were just
Well-
talking about some of it's just so over processed, And
Oh yeah, absolutely.
and I'm not knocking it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not, just for me.
Oh, I'm knocking it.
Yeah, I'm knocking it too. Don't worry.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got 2 knocks
Yeah.
and one on
We're
the
old
fence.
school.
Okay, I'm gonna knock it too. All right, I'm gonna knock it too. I'm gonna join the band here.
It's over processed. You're absolutely correct.
Well, it's
Jim.
kind of
I
cookie
agree.
cutter,
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah, it is. It is.
Right.
I mean,
That's why I don't listen to it.
just like we've talked before. I mean, who is the new Eddie Van Halen on the horizon? What's the next?
What's the next
future
Led
at?
Zeppelin?
Yeah.
What's the next?
Yeah.
The next BB King.
I mean, I know we've talked about this before on the podcast, but
No, the future isn't looking too great.
No, yeah,
Let's face it.
I made a point when we were listening to Octane on Sirius XM. We were driving. I said, "Now, Krista, can you hear the difference between the instruments in these songs?" I was like, point out. She couldn't even pick out the guitar between that and the synths going on. It was so processed. I said, I can't even tell who's who.
Right.
It's like, I don't know.
You know, something that's interesting. You bring that up, Senator. Just for a brief moment, I want to touch on this, and I might lose some people here, but just this past Thursday night, I was, for some reason, man, thinking about the band Tesla, and I said, man, I haven't checked them out.
Great band.
So
Yeah,
I went
awesome.
on Amazon and got a couple more of their old songs that I remember, and the way it was recorded, I was like, I don't remember that. That's so cool. Like the song would start out with some guitar in the right speaker, and then everything would kick in, and you'd hear everything. They had the guitar separated, one because they had 2 guitar players, right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
they had one guy on the right, one guy on the left, and the way that it was produced, and there is that separation there. You can tell who's doing what. So I see what Senator's saying exactly. Because
Yeah.
nowadays it's like everything's just like one big jumbled mess. It's just
Right.
all
It
thrown
sure
together.
is. Yeah. I agree.
You know.
Everybody has the same. It seems if they don't have the same producers, they all have the same tone. You can't.
Right.
All the guitars sounds the same to me. Anyways, it does. When I listen to this new music, the heavier stuff, I can't tell anybody apart anymore. It just nobody's unique. Nobody stands out.
Yeah.
Just my opinion.
Yeah.
No, that's. But I mean, really, I know there are some bands out there. I mean, we've talked about a few of them, but you just don't see. For me,
It's lacking emotion.
yeah,
There's
exactly.
I have no
heart in it.
emotional response to any of that stuff.
There's no heart
Like
in
nothing.
it, Because it used to be, like you hear a solo or you hear some killer riff or something, and you get the goosebumps. You get to hear it'd make if you was jamming out to it,
The chill factor.
yeah, and
absolutely.
It made you want to go back and listen to it again and again, and even maybe learn it or something. But
And really, that music that we're all talking about, they had masterpieces. Who can you say today writes a song where it's a masterpiece? Like all the stuff we've listened to.
Right.
It's just it's too.
Right.
It's been done. It's been beaten to death, and it's been done too much, if you ask me.
It's like Alex. He's 21, and he doesn't like any of the. He likes the older stuff like we do. I mean, it just goes to show you that the use of today isn't. I just like Senator said. There's no feel to it. It's just sterile.
Exactly. That's the best way to exactly. You just nailed it. Sterile and no feel just sums it right up.
Because to
the
me,
words out of my mouth.
Yeah, music should have some sort of response emotionally, anger, or happy or whatever. You should have some reaction to it, not like, oh, yeah. I'm in an elevator. It feels like you're in an elevator.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Let me check this out real quick, fellas. Blackie DH says, look on YouTube. Foo Fighters grunge tour. They go to people's houses and play for like a summer. It's awesome. Good dude.
Oh, thanks, Blackie. I'll check that out.
Yeah.
Ronnie Parker. Ronnie Parker says, rest in peace, Dave. Was that Hubeck? Founder of Molly Hatchet, who died a few weeks ago. Wow, I didn't know that.
Molly Hatchet was cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah. Yeah. Rest in peace for sure. Another great band, right?
Absolutely.
Great tunes.
Oh, yeah.
Great tunes. Great tunes.
Yeah, Black EDH agrees. He says sound things, records and stuff sounded better back in the day. Yeah, they do. Absolutely, man.
Yes, Senator, you and Adam check out Sound City, man. Y'all really
Yes.
enjoy it.
Yeah,
Golly, man.
They got some good music in there too. Some
They
great
do,
music.
man, and it's so interesting
Oh,
about
it is.
when they go with the and they bring the artist in there, and they said, I remember being in here recording this album, and it's like all the albums that recorded there, I had no idea.
Wow.
I was like,
know.
this is amazing.
I'm gonna check that out.
Oh yeah.
Anybody from Rick Springfield to Fleetwood Mac to Foreigner, and just like
Right.
All the
Charlie
greats.
S. that said that. Yeah, it was just it's amazing, man. I was like, good gosh, man. So yeah, fantastic documentary. And I was like, man, I got a big props to Dave Grohl for making that.
You ain't kidding. You know he bought the.
Oh, he
knee.
made that? I didn't know he made that.
Yeah,
Oh,
Dave Grohl made that
okay.
movie, man.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He narrates it. He narrates it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting back to Dave Grohl, you know what sells him, man? The guy is positive, and man,
He is.
he brings the energy. Boy, that guy can bring the energy. Man.
does.
He's just
He does.
he's few and far between, as far as that goes. And
That's right.
he can absolutely rock, man. That
His
guy
drumming
can kick
is
ass.
incredible. I want to keep telling y'all about it, but I want y'all to check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will definitely, absolutely,
Yeah.
I will.
Yeah. We don't want to give the ending away.
Yeah,
We don't want
exactly.
to spoil it. Yeah, and I thought that their drummer, Foo Fighters drummer, that blonde-headed guy, I thought that was Dave Grohl's brother because I was like, damn, they look alike. Except they just don't, they're different. He just has those teeth in that mouth, just like Dave Grohl. And I was like, is that his brother? But it's not.
Yeah.
They're not. I was
I
like,
could
man.
see that.
I was like, wow. I was like, is that his little brother or something? But apparently, I don't believe it is. Man,
No.
great stuff, man. Great stuff. Just a few more minutes, gentlemen. We'll be wrapping up here on this podcast. Once again, I want to say thank you, everybody, for tuning in. If you're listening in on the replay, thank you for listening. My name is Joe. This is my channel, the Joe Wentz Project TV. I love to do sometimes daily vlogs, guitar-related videos, and, of course, as you're hearing right now, a podcast with my co-host, Jim Guidry. And tonight we were fortunate to have some special guests on, Stefan, a.k.a. Center O, and Adam EVH, and they will be starting their own podcast on the horizon, That Metal Stage. Get your tickets now. No, I'm just kidding. They're going to start now with their podcast, so we're looking forward to that, and that's going to be really cool, man.
Yeah,
and I'm anxious to hear y'all's podcast and check it out.
Well, thank you very much for having us, Joe and Jim. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Sure.
It's our pleasure, man. Our pleasure. Absolutely. I always believe in trying to help somebody that's got great attitudes, that's positive, that has common sense and is well grounded, not some crazy goofballs.
No, thank you very much.
I'm not being around that. You can forget it. So thank you, guys. Yeah.
Gene just left a comment, Joe.
Let's see here. Jim and Joe, I'm a fan. God bless. Thank you, Mr. Gene. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Later, Blackie DH. Yeah, thank you, Blackie DH. Charlie S. says Dave Grohl, probably the most talented modern day rock star. You are correct, Mr. Charlie S. Absolutely.
Yep.
I agree.
Yeah.
100%, man. Is there anything you gentlemen would like to add? Jim, Center,
No,
Adam, anything you'd like to add? Anything you'd like to touch on that we haven't touched on by any chance? Anything?
No, I'm good. No, just thank everybody in the chat, and I say hello to all you guys. Thank you.
Not a problem, man. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us. Thanks for having us on.
Absolutely, man. And we wish y'all the best
Yes.
of everything, man. And hope you have a great time with your podcast, man. That's really cool. Really cool.
We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, all right, I guess this is it for now. So for Jim Guidry, Center, and Adam, my name is Joe for the Joe Wentz Project TV here. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And hopefully we'll see you tomorrow, maybe, I hope. And then from then, take care, everybody. Peace out. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Good night, guys. Good night, everybody.
Bye-bye.